All right. So. Okay, this is gonna be a bit hard for me to do. Prince is back. The Forever Prince. What's up, Sky? How are you doing? Hope everyone's doing alright after that long break. The great young one. Yes, I am the great young one. I wouldn't say great. I'd say the alright. The alright young one. That was too long a break. I was tempted to just open up a stream for a few days. But yes, also not great, but things will eventually be alright again. Alright. Keep pushing through, Sky. Just keep going. Move forward. Keep moving forward. The mediocre youngin. Yep. Completely mediocre, not too good, not too great, not too bad. Just right. Right in that. The middle hotspot. How about me? How was my break? It was pretty relaxing. Went on a fishing trip and then just pretty much played Phasmophobia. I kind of got addicted to Phasmophobia again. It's a good game. Even though it's not complete, it's still a pretty decent game. And I kind of just like interacting with people on there. Just because you get a much wider variety of people in Phasmophobia. Sounds good. Relaxing is always good. Yes, it is. Gotta relax hard. Rest hard. It's gonna take a few minutes to get back into the groove, so to speak. And also to see if anyone's coming back in, or coming in. Because even I don't get notifications on my own YouTube channel that I'm going live. Because like when you schedule a live stream, you get two notifications. One is the 30-minute before the stream notification, and then the next notification is going to be the stream is actually live notification, or the stream's supposed to be live notification. But then it doesn't help that even I don't get both of those. So notifications for subscriptions are completely messed up, which is fine. I just had to what's it called? Announce the streams and stuff on other things. At least you make content still. Haven't in 2 going on 3 months. Well, you got notified. Okay, so you got notified. I did not. It doesn't help that I'm the actual owner of the channel. And they can't even notify me that I'm going live. Let's look at my emails. Usually I get an email that I go live. Yeah, I didn't get an email yet. That's completely messed up. The algorithm decides who gets notified. It also decides who's gonna get their big break. Sometimes they'll just recommend one of your videos to a crap ton of people, and the algorithm, it's a anomaly that even YouTube can't explain themselves what it is. Alright, gotta make sure I get my water. I have my chapstick nearby. Yeah, this beatboxing stream is probably gonna destroy my throat a bit. Just because there's some vocal techniques. Some of them are really straining, and I'm gonna be going in depth with the throat-based stuff. I got 200 real fast though, in only about a month. Yeah, I did get to 200 really fast. That was strangely surprising. That 24-hour stream helped. Because that brought in like, I think 15 people, and then also pretty much recommended a few of my other videos to other people. So that 24-hour stream really helped. I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to do a 24-hour stream again. I'll probably do like 11 to 12-hour streams. Just because I also kind of want them to be archived, since you can't archive more than 12 hours. But yes, I might do 12-hour streams sometime in the future. Just because endurance streams, it's fine. 12 hours is more manageable. Natty Lamort, hello. Hey, how are you doing, Natty? It's been a long time since I've seen anyone. Do a Corona and do an endurance stream every other stream. I mean, yeah, the smaller games on like the virtual consoles, I could do that. And then I could also do like, I really don't think I could play Smash for 12 hours straight. I'm not a competitive player, so it's not necessarily my passion to play Smash for like 12 hours a day. And I apologize if I sound kind of weird. I have a allergy problem at the moment. Alright, once we're 10 minutes in, I'm going to switch over to the classroom. Corona 2.0 confirmed. That's too high of an honor to be given. Can't even play Smash daily. If it had better connection, it'd be more bearable to play Smash for a longer period of time. But it's so scuffed online that I just can't handle it. Corona but Prince. Yes, that's too high of an honor. Can't play Smash because don't have a Switch. I'd say get a Switch Lite, but I don't think you want to play Smash on a Switch Lite, because yeah, that's gonna destroy the Joy-Cons, the connected Joy-Cons. I really don't like how you can't change them out and how you can't fix it unless you go inside the machine or inside the system. Yep, don't get a Switch if you know you're only gonna use it often. I'd say only get it if you really want to play an exclusive game on there and you know that you're gonna play for like a good maybe 1,000 hours. But for the most part, you're fine with just like a PC, or mobile games are fine. If you have a phone, just play mobile games. Anyway, go into the classroom. All right. Don't think it's a bad console, but you definitely have to use it often to feel like you get your money worth. 200. Yes, nobody artist. You gotta start doing fan art again. I didn't think I'd get to 200 so fast. I think it might also be because of that one video. The one massive video on my channel at the moment. Alright, we're gonna do a quick review of the last what's it called? The last beatboxing stream. Boots and cats. Hey, Raku. Esh. Nice to see you here, Raku. Yes, today we're gonna go over the options for bass. So that's... Oh yeah. Nobody Artist is the person who made my most of my thumbnails, or most of the art for the thumbnails that don't include my actual model. I enjoy using the actual model sometimes, just because I can pose it in whatever way I want. But yes, I appreciate art made for the thumbnails too. Also, yes, we are going over some of the bass options, which includes things, or I shouldn't say include things, but it's more of the fun part of beatboxing. If depending on who you are, you can see it as a fun part. You can see it as a way to make beatboxing sound more like, what's it called? More like actual music. It's not necessary. These bass options are not necessary to be good, but they are in today's day and age, I suppose if you want to impress someone, use these bass options. So let's see if I can do this correctly. I set this up yesterday, like 30 minutes before stream, so it might be kind of messy. But it's like one of those PowerPoint presentations that you do for class and you procrastinate it until like the last minute. But at least it's still better than what I had last time. Alright, types of bass. So, I'm gonna try to demonstrate these to the best of my ability. I wouldn't base the actual sound off of my demonstrations, just because I haven't practiced all of them to a proficient level yet. So, types of bass. Man is procrastinating his streams. Yes, I am procrastinating my streams sometimes. First up, probably the most iconic in beatboxing, the throat bass. That's a very... It's hard to first learn throat bass just because lips revealed for beatboxing. No one gets to see those. Anyway, throat bass, it's probably one of the hardest to learn if you don't know how to do it already. But once you actually get the noise, it's really easy to practice it more and more to get it consistent and to get it to a texture that you like. So throat bass, quick demonstration, it's just and I suppose I could try to use these bass options in a beat. So basic throat bass beat. Lots of games. Where's Smash Bros? What's this bullcrap? Give me a refund. No refunds. You paid for this class. You paid free for this class. So there's no refunds. Yes, throat bass is like using the sound you make when you cough. Is this pre-recorded? No, it's not pre-recorded. I would never do pre-recorded streams. Actually, I might do pre-recorded streams. Would that be a premiere then? I suppose that'd be a premiere. Yeah, that'd be a premiere. Anyway, yes, it's kind of like when you cough. So it's right in your throat. Wait, are we paying for this? This is a class. So yes, you are paying $0.00 for this. Technically, it should be free, but you're paying through your internet. Yeah, so kind of when you cough, or like when you clear your throat, you kind of have that very subtle vibration, and then you kind of strengthen it. So you put a bit more air into it, and then you get that vibrating noise that goes, wait, but I don't have money. I'm gonna I'll kick you out the class if you don't have money, if you don't have $0.00. Yep, Skaz got it. You isolate the bass instead of the whole cough. And I'll go more in depth in a little bit later. Right now, we'll move on to lip oscillation. $0.00 every day. Per month, it's $30. Yes, I am secretly getting into your bank accounts so that you can pay for my class. Lip oscillation. It's a... It can be very technical in a sense that... in a musical sense. So, what the basic lip oscillation sounds like is just... There's a few different textures that you can do. So there's... And then there's also a tighter variation that goes... So those two are like the basics of lip oscillation. Enjoy my $5. Yes, those two textures are the very basics of lip oscillation. So one is a bit looser, so it's just... And then the other one's a bit tighter, which goes... Sorry, I can't do it very well. I need to loosen up my lips. If you play the trumpet, it's kind of like blowing into a trumpet. But then the more technical, music-wise, the more, let's see, what's it called? In a music sense, more technically, you would put your voice alongside the lip oscillation. So what you can do is do an octave, and then, so you get the lip oscillation note, try to get a steady note. So we got that note. And then we want to put that note on your lips alongside the note on your voice. So I don't know if I could get this consistently. I can't do lip oscillations consistently. It might sound like this. That was a very dirty lip oscillation. As in, that was very bad. But then, what some people might want to do for a kind of cleaner tone is you go up like a fifth. You go up a fifth step. So, let's get a note. So, and then you go up 5 notes. I really suck at lip oscillations. A way to explain it would be like, yes, humming blowing a raspberry. So, blow a raspberry. That's the first variation of lip oscillation. Just a loose lips blowing a raspberry. So put your lips together and just blow. And then the tighter variation. That gets a more steady and has an actual note. And then if you want to add in more texture, then you put in your voice on top of it. You can either do an octave. Yep, Gene Shinozaki's vocalized lip bass. Yep, one of the best in the scene. Yeah, you could do an octave or you could do a fifth. Alright, next one. Liproll. Probably another one of the more, I suppose, famous techniques in beatboxing. So the basic Liproll, probably the first one that you might want to learn is without any air, and it's just using the sucking in air into your mouth using your tongue. So you're not breathing in with your lungs. So it's just gonna sound like. And with that, you can add it into like a vocal beat. So like, I can hum while doing the Liproll because it doesn't require any air from my lungs. Let's see. So like you can hear my voice while also hearing the lip roll. And the lip roll is probably one of the best ways to get a good sounding bass that's going to sound like a actual, what's it called, an 808 bass, I think, like a sub bass. Actually, that's a different type of lip roll. So we're going to do the sub bass lip roll, which the sub bass lip roll actually uses your lungs because you kind of want to get a steady note with the vibration of your lips. And that's going to sound like, if you either tighten or loosen your lips, you're going to get different textures on them. So when you tighten it, but also, let's see, you can tighten it, but also loosen your jaw. The jaw placement is going to be very important for like the overall sound of it. And you might be able to get more steady notes and more consistent sounds, which is really hard for we call it a distortion kind of technique, where it actually sounds like a distorted sound in music. So there could be more steady notes like it's really hard sometimes. Make sure you have chapstick for the lip roll. You really need chapstick for the lip roll. And the basic beat with the lip roll, it's one that a lot of people will enjoy, and a lot of people will, what's it called? They'll find impressive. It's just so that's basically just like bass hits alongside a PF snare, which is a really easy beat. I could go into depth with that beat just because it's really easy, but that'll probably be at the end of the stream. But yes, lip rolls, couple variations. There's a lot. There's also an outward variation. That's going to be using more so the front part of your lips, while the uses the side of your lips. But lip roll, it has so many things, so many different things, that we'll have to save that for a different stream. Alright, next up is vibration bass. So I literally learned this like a couple days ago. It's not gonna sound good. In fact, one second, let me mute myself to to practice it just a bit. Okay. So vibration bass, I'm gonna put it in a subcategory of throat bass. It's very similar, but the technique is not the same, not quite the same. So with vibration bass, you're gonna strain your vocal cords a bit, and this one you're gonna need some water. You really need some water for the vocal techniques. Inward lip roll tends to have more oscillation compared to the sub bass version. Yes. So inward lip roll is gonna get a bit more vibration, so to speak. Anywho, vibration bass, it's gonna sound, it sounds dirty, but when you put it with a good mic and good mixing, then it can hit really hard. So vibration bass is gonna sound like, mine's not the cleanest. I can't get the individual bass vibrations yet, but that's a close idea of what it sounds like. It's more for a lower register of throat bass. It has subtle overtones on it, which really helps in creating a more filling texture on your basses. But whether you do, or you can go from throat bass into vibration bass. It's kind of hard. I haven't figured it out quite yet. But that's one way to be able to transition into vibration bass and practice getting the sensation of vibration bass. So throat bass into vibration bass. Let's see if I can do it. I couldn't do it very well. It was slightly dipping into vibration bass, but for vibration bass, the start of it is gonna be very hard to learn. But I think the technique is actually slightly easier than throat bass, because throat bass you actually have to find where your throat bass spot is. All right, moving on to fart bass. Fart bass literally is what you think it is. You kind of make a fart noise with your mouth. Not like the childish fart noise. Not like or it's more tighter. You can also have a sustained note, and you could also put a vocal backing into it. Oh, 1 second. It might sound like this. It's literally just gonna sound like a fart. Well, if you put it with a good mic, it's gonna have a more hard-hitting bass to it. And you could also do vocals with it as well. So let's see. I can't do it. Best way to describe throat to vibration, transition-wise, would be loosening vocal cords a bit when you drop to lower pitch. Yes, that also helps when you loosen the vocal cords. That helps with just going into lower notes, even just singing normally to loosen the vocal cords. It's kind of hard to explain these sensations because you kind of had to do it in practice first. But anyway, the fart bass, I'm not good at it. I try to stay away a bit because it tickles your nose. Same with the lip oscillation, but lip oscillation is a bit more bearable. But the fart bass, that really tickles my nose. I might be doing it a bit weirdly, but... And then inward bass. Inward bass, I haven't really gotten the hang of it just yet. But it's almost the exact same as throat bass, just breathing in. Everyone's going to tell you it's the exact same as throat bass, but just breathing in. Some people might have different ways to do it, but the only way to figure out your inward bass, because I think everyone's inward bass is really different, is just try to do it. So it's literally breathing in while slightly tightening your throat to that throat bass sensation. So it might sound like... Mine is a very airy and kind of empty inward bass. I haven't been able to tighten it into a like throat bass sound. But inward bass, I suppose the best way to explain it is literally just throat bass, but breathing in and a bit more air. You might require a bit more air breathing in than a breathing out throat bass. Next up, tongue bass. Tongue bass is a more specialized sort of noise where it's going to have a metallic-y sort of texture. So it's going to sound like those hard metallic hits in like dubstep and stuff. And it's pretty simple. You can play with your tongue to figure out different ways and different noises that you can make with it. It's literally just rolling your R, but without vocalize, and you push out faster and you push out more air than you normally would. So that's gonna be... Yeah, so that's me playing with my lip shape and my tongue positioning to get different sounds, different notes on the tongue bass. I suppose a simple beat that you can do with it is It kind of sounds like the transformer noise. But yes, that you can do a lot with it. It's gonna sound pretty much similar to most of the tongue bases. There's not much you can do with it, but it's a good noise to have, just because it gives a different and fresher sound, so to speak. And next up, vocal bass. Vocal bass, it's playing with your throat. It's not necessarily throat bass, but it's more playing with your throat and your vocal cords in a way. So let's see. Yeah, so there's a couple different variations on them. And each one can sound very good as long as you do it cleanly. I can't do it very cleanly. I can do the, let's see, that one I could do pretty cleanly because it's really simple. But vocal bass, it's similar to throat bass in a way. Vocal bass will just allow you to have your normal voice alongside a sub bass sound. So it'll have it alongside the sub bass sound. While on the other hand, throat bass is more kind of just the bass sound. Alright. Let's get more in depth for some of them. So, lip oscillation. We're going to save throat bass for last because I'll go in depth with that. Lip oscillation, like I said, a couple different textures. And with that, you can actually do outwards K snare. So, it might be kind of hard to do outwards K snare while doing a lip oscillation just because, you know, you're trying to focus on your lips and you're focusing on your throat at the same time. And it might be kind of hard to hear the K snare unless you get a really good K snare. So that might sound like. So I was purposely doing a bit more air on the K snare so that you can get an idea of like how it would sound if you get a really strong K snare. That's why my lip oscillation was breaking a bit. And drink some water. Doing that vibration bass kind of hurt. But yeah, with the looser lip oscillation, that allows you to do K snares and put in maybe bass or kick hits mid oscillation. It has a bit more freedom. It just doesn't have much musical tone in a way. So it's not gonna have a clear note. It's just gonna be as if there's a bass line going on and that's it. And the tighter lip oscillation, that you can do a whole bunch of things, but you aren't gonna be able to do a percussion behind it unless you split it up a bit. So there's very tight lips that can get you higher pitches and looser lips that can get you lower pitches. Those are going to be able to sound like actual notes. And the vocalized lip oscillations, you can put your vocal backing into it and you can have harmonies. You can harmonize with yourself with this technique. So notable users, I'm going to have notable users so that you guys can look it up. And these are going to be pretty much prime examples of how it should sound like. So notable user, Jin Shinozaki. he is probably the best in the scene of using this technique. He is extremely technical music-wise, and he uses the vocalized one with a slightly tighter lips and a vocal bagging for harmonies. And then Napalm, he likes using the looser version of the with the more. The best way I can describe it is try to say SH while blowing a raspberry. So, yeah, if you put that SH while blowing a raspberry in there, then it's going to sound more full and have a kind of higher overtone on it, which is going to sound way better than just doing like just the lips. That's just. So lip oscillation, it's a nice technique. If you're more into the musical sense, you want to try to do the tighter lip oscillation, just so you can, show off harmonies and all that. I'm not really good at music theory, but you can bring it up to a third, or a perfect fifth, or a perfect octave. Those are going to be the best sounding harmonies. There could be someone out there who knows how to do all the minors and stuff, and they can sound extremely good with it. But we haven't really seen anyone who can do that quite yet. They're probably going to have to be really good at music theory to make those kind of music with that. Alright. Liproll. Notable user. I'm just going to put Napalm here. So Napalm is the prime example of a Liproll user. There's a lot of people who are really good with it, but I'm going to say that the most recognized one is Napalm, because he has an album that's called Lips. That how would I say this? He does a lot of noises, and he's done a lot of beatboxing, but a lot of people recognize him for lip rolls. So like sometimes when people battle him in like beatbox battles, they'll say, "Oh, we're just gonna get lip rolls for the next minute." But yes, Napalm, number one lip roll user for me in my case. Yeah, the notable users are going to be based off my opinion and slightly community opinion. I think most people will agree with these choices. So again, Liproll. And if you want to get a kick out of the Liproll, you can you can suck in a burst of air. But be careful to not change your lip roll. Yes, just search roll like this on YouTube. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna add in a text. Actually, no. Let's see. Roll like this is good example. There we go. I suppose I should have also put up songs from beatboxers that actually include the technique. But yes, Napalm and a song Roll Like This is the song to go to listen to really good lip roll combos, really good lip roll sounds, how it should sound, and like various ways you can use lip rolls. And a lot of times you're going to be mixing inwards and outward lip rolls. So it'll be like, I can't really do outward lip rolls too well. But yes, you'll be mixing the two, and you can mix in like those harder lip rolls where you're breathing in. So you can also transition between those So it might sound like this. Once you get that basic combo down, it's going to sound really good when it's all together and much faster. So yes, that's like a basic combo that you can do. But Liprolls, they can sound really good, but maybe off camera, or not off camera, but like without a good mic, it's gonna sound not just like a bunch of fart noises, because it has a lot of sub bass in there, and like the regular Liproll, the me after listening to a part of roll like this, oh I'm die. Thank you forever. Yes, it is a very good song. Like I would probably just listen to that on my off time as well. I do listen to it on my off time. Yes, roll like this, prime example. And it's a lot of just playing around with your lips. So the easiest way I can describe how to do a lip roll is by keeping your lips closed. Remember, lips are always going to be closed for this. Keep your lips closed. Drop your jaw without opening your mouth. And then this depends on you. You can move your jaw down and to the right or down and to the left. If you move your jaw down and right, your lip is going to be, or the sound that you're gonna suck in from is gonna be on the left side of your lip. And if you move jaw down and to the left, then your lips will be activating on the right side of your lips. It's kind of weird. So if your jaw goes down right, then your lip roll sensation will be on your left. If your jaw goes down left, your lip roll sensation will be on your right. And to start a lip roll, you kind of put your tongue to your teeth, and then you pull your tongue in while slightly opening whichever side of your lips that you've designated. So when you slightly open them, it allows air to come in, and that will get the vibrations. So mine is down, my jaw is down to the right, lips are closed, and then we're gonna open the lip slightly, and then we're gonna pull in air with our tongue. This might seem really hard because I can't do it on my model. I can't demonstrate the jaw and lip thing on my model. So I'm gonna have to be extremely good at describing the actual the actual way to do it, which is proving to be more of a challenge than I thought. But yes, lip roll. There's a lot of tutorials up there as well. So think of this as just like intro to what you might want to do. Moving on. Let's see. Fart bass. Notable users, Alexinho and Hiss. So fart bass can get really good sounding basses that can get it can sound even lower than lip rolls if you're really good at a fart bass. And being that you could also put vocal backing into it, you can get really musical with it. So Alexinho and Hiss, they have slightly similar fart basses, but Alexinho loves putting his voice behind his fart bass. Let's see. I forgot what song it was that Alexinho did. I really should have put songs to look up. Yes, if you look up Alexinho fart bass, actually, I think Hiss and Alexinho did a song together using fart bass. Not necessarily a song. I think it was a shout out or something, but yes, you can even see them two together with fart bass, and they are extremely good in it. I'm not, because my lip placement is kind of weird with it. I hate the sensation on my nose. Yes, notable users, Alexinho, Hiss. Also, remind me if I'm forgetting someone. If I'm forgetting someone really good. We're gonna move quick through these because I see that we're almost at an hour. I didn't think it'd take this long. I want to at least get to throat bass quickly. And vocal bass. Vocal bass, remember, it's kind of like throat bass, but you have your actual voice backed alongside a sub bass overtone. And notable users, again, Alexinho and Pwad. Pwad is a more uh, musical beatboxer in a sense. And if you look up beatbox smoothest bass, you're gonna see a Pwad video, or you're gonna see a bunch of Pwad videos. And Pwad's bass, the texture is extremely nice. It's not very hard hitting. It's not very heavy. So it's kind of have that. It kind of has that middle ground where it's musical while also having a low tone that feels full. And his Pwad's vocal bass is very soft. And the only way I could describe it is do a gargle. Try to get a consistent gargle in the back of your throat. And then use your vocals and voice it. So. Agree 100% on Pwad. Dude's nuts. Yep, he is completely nuts. I want to see more of him. His noises are really good, especially that vocal bass. But yeah, with Pwad's vocal bass, you're gonna get a gargle in the back of your throat, and you kind of want to play with your lips to get a. You want to do a choke point on the noise. So you're gonna kind of tighten your lips like you're puckering. You want to pucker your lips. Don't close your lips. Just pucker it without closing, and then do the noise. It's gonna make it sound more like a synth because the noise is gonna resonate inside your mouth for a bit and slightly vibrate on your lips. You've seen people recommend isolating the uvula for the gargle and getting clean to get the distortion. Yep. So try to gargle and isolate that sensation. Once you isolate that sensation, you should be able to add on your voice. Of course, it's gonna the gargle might lose texture because you're not too used to doing the voice and the gargle at the same time. But it's all about practicing it and being able to do both of them at the same time so you could get a really clean and smooth noise. And Alexinho, it's kind of like a gargle, but it's more towards the chest. Actually, it's not a gargle at all. It's literally chest, kind of a chest vibration, or a chest bass as we call it. That's gonna sound like. Kazuki Meyer, bro, what happened? I have 2 times sub right now. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The 24-hour streamed I did last week really helped. That garnered me a lot of visibility, which I appreciate. And it also put me on the algorithm for a bit. But yeah. Anywho, Alexinho's vocal bass. It's going to be a chest bass alongside vocal. So, and then, it might sound extremely weird. You're going to sound very funny doing it. But once you put it with higher vocalization, it's going to sound a bit cleaner and have more variety in its sound. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's going to have that low sound and that very high sound. So it's really simple to do. It's probably one of the easier techniques of like vocal bass and stuff. Think of it kind of like throat bass, but instead of the throat, you're using your chest. So do a growl is what the actual technique is called for like singing. a growl, and then put in your voice, whatever note you want. I suppose the best way I can try to explain it is Marge Simpson. Try to sound like Marge Simpson. Oh, homie. I can't do it. But yes, try to sound like Marge Simpson. That's probably the best way to do it. The terrible Marge Simpson impression. And then just, put musical tones onto it. That's where you play with your mouth to get different noises, like that wah wah sound effect. But yes, vocal bass, it's really nice. P-Wad's vocal bass. Look up smoothest bass, and then you'll pretty much find it. You'll find P-Wad stuff. And if I can change visibility, there we go. Inward bass. There's a lot of inward bass users, and everyone's inward bass sounds extremely different for some reason. So probably number one of using the inward bass is Vocoder. And in my opinion, they might be the best beatboxer in America right now. If you do a heavy sigh and focus the sound in your lower throat, yep. So like again, heavy sigh, like Raku said, heavy sigh, and then focus sound lower throat and slightly chest. That's how you get the rumble. Yep. Once you get that rumble, you then also have figured out chest bass, which is really useful. Because sometimes when you have too much air in your lungs and you want to get it out quickly, chest bass will help you do that. So it's just inward bass. Again, notable users, Vocoder, probably number one with using this technique. D-Lo, his inward bass is very isolated, so to speak. Like you can hear almost each individual vibration of his inward bass, of D-Lo's inward bass. And then there's Inertia. Inertia has a slightly, I wouldn't say airy texture, but it's a deeper texture. And then Parathiban, that's their inward bass is like they are really well known for doing inward bass. Yeah, these are all good examples to look up. Vocoder, D-Lo, Inertia, Parathiban. They're all very good examples, and they all have extremely different sounding inward bass. Like to most people's ears, it might sound just like, hard hitting bass and distortion. Oh right, Tomazakure as well. Yes, Tomazakure as well. Let me add on Tomazakure. How do you spell his name? Tomazakre. Oops, how do I isolate just the... There we go. Yes, Tomazakure as well. Tomazakure's inward bass is really heavy, and a lot of the heavier things will sound extremely distorted, will just sound a bit more like a produced music sample or music track, which is kind of what a lot of people want. They don't want to sound human. I suppose that's the main point of beatboxing, to not sound human and to sound more like the instruments and the production of a song. But yes, inward bass, it also helps you breathe in. So that's gonna mix it up with chest bass and inward bass. You might be taking in a lot of air with the inward bass, so try not to get extremely lightheaded. if you tighten your throat a bit, that's gonna help you take in slightly less air, and you'll get probably different textures. But yeah, my inward bass, I take in a lot of air, so I might get a bit lightheaded doing it because I don't tighten my throat too much, which I probably should play around with it a bit more. But it's gonna have again a heavy noise. It's gonna sound very distorted. You might not get musical notes with it, but if you put it alongside words like fa 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 and go fa 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 fa, that's gonna sound like a sort of dubstep sample, I suppose. Dubstep or trap sample. But once you tighten your throat, you can start to get notes with it. It's going to be very hard to get consistent notes because of just the difficulty of consistently getting a good inward bass. Some people might be able to do it. I know Delo's inward bass kind of gets that music note. Vocoder's inward bass really gets those musical notes. And you can hear Vocoder's like metallic and heavy noise or heavy sound. But either way, inward bass is a good technique to learn. I wouldn't learn it right away unless you really want to. Nothing's stopping you from learning inward bass right away. But it's gonna be hard if you are very phlegmy, because you're gonna be breathing in a lot. Yes, inward bass and inward drags for air regulation. Air regulation is the main thing. Maintaining how much air you take in, maintaining how much air you put out. That's going to be your main thing for, doing a consistent beatbox routine, so to speak. And for inward bass, you don't want to take in too much air, but you also don't want to take in too little air. Otherwise, you're not going to get a good sound. You're going to have to find the right amount for the situation that you're in. All right, that's enough inward bass. Now we'll go to throat bass. Notable users: Codfish or Bunny Fluff, if you've seen his old Call of Duty videos. Codfish's throat bass, very musical, very, very nice in texture. Can be heavy, but it's also very, how do I say this? It has very good overtones. Oh, I forgot to add on one more. Let's see, notable users. Humble Hubris. Hey, how you doing, Humble Hubris? Here to learn some beatboxing stuff. Yes, notable users: Codfish or Bunny Fluff. If you look up Bunny Fluff, you're gonna get more of his Call of Duty, like a couple years ago videos that he's just doing beatboxing for Call of Duty lobbies and all that. Fortnite lobbies. Basically the main things that beatboxing gamers do. Codfish is cracked. Codfish is definitely cracked. He is really good. He's a really good throat bass user. He has a lot of good techniques too. But yes, his throat bass is really good. Big Man is known for his extremely musical throat bass. So he'll switch between his singing voice and throat bass almost instantly. Like the transition between his throat bass and singing voice is pretty seamless. Ah yes, Big Ben has a really beefy throat bass. I forgot to add in Big Ben as well. When I was looking at these, I was like, there should be more people for throat bass. A lot of people love using throat bass. Big Ben. Seen a couple of his battles too. Yes, he is a very good battler. especially when he gets into his technical beats, because a lot of people don't think that Codfish can get into technical beats because they think he's just, you know, all music. But then he's gonna show everyone up with those technicalities. So big man, very extremely musical. So he switches between throat bass and singing voice seamlessly. It's gonna be like, ooh. Now I don't have a very good singing voice prepped at the moment, but the way he does it is he makes his voice sounding like a synth by putting his lips puckered. Remember, this is gonna be that synth kind of texture. So you pucker your lips without closing it, and then you kind of get a hard hitting vocal hit. So if you do that, mix alongside the throat bass, because Codfish does this as well, and then you swap into the singing bass, you're gonna get that synth, that very electronic sound. And if you do that seamlessly, it's gonna sound better than just going ooh ah. Can I do a Beans WTF? Beans WTF. Why does that sound familiar? That's TikTok thing. Of course I haven't seen it. But yes, that Beans is literally throat bass. So anyone who does that knows how to do throat bass. It's just that they probably don't know it's called throat bass. So it's just Beans. That's a bit too high. Beans. Yes, it's literally a throat bass. Beans. That's silly. Yes, it's they might not know it's actually throat bass, so they can start beatboxing whenever they want. They know one of the most used techniques. I can nail it. Yes, if you get that sensation, you isolate that sensation, and you keep doing it over and over, you will get throat bass, and you'll be able to do throat bass really easily. Because, like I said, throat bass is extremely easy, but the hardest part of it is learning and finding the sensation, which I should probably go over again. So the sensation of it is kind of like coughing or clearing your throat. Clearing your throat might be the best way to describe it, because you're going to go the first vibrations that you feel while clearing your throat, that's going to be the basic sensation that you want to look for. And then you want to slightly tighten your throat. You don't want to overstrain your throat with this. And if you are practicing this over and over, make sure you rest. You know, don't go for like an hour trying to get it, because you're going to absolutely destroy your throat. You're not going to have a voice the next day. I've had that happen to me. Learning stuff tonight. All right, that's good. That's good. That's what we're here for. Because yeah, when I was first learning this technique, I would do it completely wrong. I would go, because I would tighten my throat way too tight, and then that would make me cough. But it did make me learn kind of a different texture of like a bass voice. So I'd do things like, whoa. And that, it's not good for your voice, because that's extremely harsh on it. It sounds nice, but I only do that for that kind of gimmick, so to speak. But throat bass, it's not super tight. You do tighten your throat, but it's not super tight. And then, yeah, clearing your throat. Those first few vibrations is going to be the sound that you want to look for. And then with that, you play around with your mouth to get different textures. And you can also play around with your tongue, because what's his name? So Close to Toast. He puts his tongue near the back of his throat to get a different kind of resonation. So let's see. Yeah, you kind of get a fuller resonation, or resonance, I should say. Resonation. I know resignation is the word. So resonance. You get a fuller resonance. And you can puff your cheeks if you want. That's going to give you another resonance, and it's going to make it sound more musical. Not musical, but like more produced. So there are many things you can do with throat bass. Another one, Reaps 1. Reaps 1 is one of the OG beatboxers. Not necessarily competing nowadays, but Reaps 1 is doing a lot of things music-wise for beatboxing and all that. And he's one of the best users of throat bass. One of the best sounds of it. And Marcus Perez, I don't know why a few people really don't like Marcus Perez just because he did Vine. But you can't deny that Marcus Perez's throat bass is extremely good. Like, it's on par, if not better, sound-wise than Codfish. Because there's very good overtones on Marcus Perez's throat bass. I don't know why I'm moving my hands so much. I'm moving my hands. I can't talk without moving my hands. I can't beatbox without moving my hands. Yes, number one, if you want to get better at beatboxing, move your hands. Move your hands a lot. Anyway, back to Marcus Perez. Yeah, I like Marcus Perez. His throat bass is very nifty, very, very clean sounding. And that's the thing, it's clean. It's clean, it doesn't sound like there's air being wasted. And he can get really low with it. And he also mixes in a lot of musical elements to it, similar to Big Ben would. And then Big Ben, that's just a beefy throat bass. Like, it's one of the beefiest throat bass in the scene. Yes, there's a lot of people who do throat bass. Probably, or my inspiration, not inspiration, but like the way I found out about throat bass was from Deitch and Hikakin, the massive Japanese YouTuber Hikakin, and the beatbox YouTuber Deitch, Japanese beatbox YouTuber Deitch. Yeah, those are like the two OG beatboxers that I used to watch back in the day. I wouldn't say, yeah, they'd be OG. They're in the Swiss Beatbox logo name thing. But yes, Deitch and Hikakin, very good users at throat bass. They can get pretty low on there, and getting lower with the throat bass is very hard to do unless you have a naturally low voice. But yeah, throat bass, very, very fun technique, very fun to play around with, and it impresses a lot of people surface-wise. Because, you know, you'll just be talking. Also, one thing that you might want to do to get better at throat bass is just kind of talk with it. Because there's a lot of mouth movements that can get different textures, but it's going to get really hard to consistently do a throat bass because of the way you're pushing out air. So you just want to talk with it. If you want to go super old school, there's also Razel. Yes, Razel. Razel, very good throat bass. I'd kind of say it's a messy throat bass in a way. Or not a full throat bass, because you can kind of hear little crackles and switching between throat bass and just singing. But yeah, Razel is the very OG, probably one of the first throat bass users. It kind of has that messy sound, like I can't do it. I can only do normal throat bass. Just listen to Big Ben, sweet Jesus. Big Ben is a big boy. Yeah, Big Ben, really heavy throat bass and just absolutely beefy. And again, basic throat bass beat. I haven't prepped throat bass for this. I was warming up my lips more, loosening it up, just so I can try to get the lip oscillation stuff sounding correct. Takao! Hello! How you doing, Takao? Been a good while since I've seen you, since I've seen anyone. But yes, again, quick run through. We're gonna go through these again. Throat bass. Notable users. Do look these people up if you want to learn these techniques, because they are prime examples of how it should sound and kind of how you want it to sound. But I suppose I should say one of my tips. Don't try to sound exactly like them. No one's gonna sound exactly the same. But you want to imitate them and then find your own style with it. So it's just that's a basic throat bass. I'm good. What about you? I am doing all right. I got my water. I got my chapstick. I'm set. And we are also coming up on time in a bit. Actually, how long did my last beatbox stream last? Oh well, I'll check that later. But yes, look up these people if you really want to learn these. They're gonna give you fairly different sounding techniques, but for the most part, they are using the technique. So that's throat bass, lip oscillation. Again, Gene Shinozaki, very extremely musical user of the lip oscillation, especially with the vocal lip oscillation. And I suppose I should also say he uses a inward lip roll while also vocalizing. So, and then he breathes in with his voice. So, so we put those two together. But that's probably more of the lip roll part. But anyway, Gene Shinozaki, musical. Napalm, more bass, trap, dubstep style. So it's going to sound more just like a bass instead of actual notes. Liproll, again, Napalm, number one. I'm not going to list any others because pretty much most professional beatboxers have a good Liproll and no good combos. But Napalm is the number one at it. Uh-oh. Did I lose connection? Oh no, I'm fine. Okay. Yep, Napalm's the number one for lip rolls. And like I said, you could do the inward lip roll or the inward sub bass lip roll alongside breathing in vocally. So that'd be, and then to be. That way you can get a lower hit on that bass, a lower bass line, while also doing vocals. But it is kind of hard for some people to vocalize inward breath. And fart bass. My fart bass is not good. It's literally just, and then you can put vocal backing into it. That's literally going to sound like a fart for the most part, unless you put it up to a mic. If you put it up to a mic, it's going to have the, what's it called? The bass vibrations in it more than like the air that's coming out. Interior crocodile alligator. I actually know the beat for that song. Wait, is that it? It'd be. Mom spaghetti. Yes, fart bass. Notable users, Alexinho and Hiss. If you look up Alexinho and Hiss, you might find the song that they did together. Let's see. Oh yes. It's literally let me update this to they have a song together. It's literally called Fart Bass Brothers. Yeah, so Fart Bass Brothers. It's gonna have both Alexinho and Hiss. And it's a very hard hitting sound. Put up to good mic, good mixing. It's gonna give good bass. So if you want to learn fart bass, look up those two. Look up both of them together. There's gonna be that song Fart Bass Brothers. And vocal bass. Notable users, Alexinho again and P-Wad. Alexinho has a chest bass vocal bass. So it's gonna be that growl, like I said. So we're just gonna and the way Raku put it, a heavy sigh, really heavy sigh, while also finding a rumble, kind of tightening the throat by your chest. So kind of like that, but having a heavy sigh. And then you put your voice onto it. So the chest bass with your voice to be it has that overtone noise because you are getting the bass alongside the voice, the higher voice, and that's gonna have very distinct. What's the word I'm trying to say? It's gonna be varied. That's not the word I'm trying to say. I'm trying to think of something else, but it's gonna be a varied noise. Who's in Paris? Alexinho is in Paris because Alexinho is French. I actually don't think they live in Paris. And lastly, inward bass. Notable users, Vokoda, Dilo, Inertia, Paratiban, Tomazakure. These 5 are probably the best of each texture that I can think of. There's a lot of people, just like throat bass, there's a lot of people who know how to do throat bass. There's a lot of people who know how to do inward bass. And these 5 all have extremely different sounding inward basses. Vokoda, very heavy metallic dubstep noise. I think he calls himself the dubstep beatboxer. Who's in Paris? That's a meme. I'm not caught up on memes. I'm still at Omni-Man going think. I'm still at Omni-Man doing the think. Actually, I have been seeing Omni-Man with the look at what they need for a fraction of our power. That one's a silly one. Migos. I don't think I've actually listened to a single Migos song. I haven't kept up with modern day rappers. Except for Mori Calliope. That's probably the only person I keep up with. That's modern day. Anyway, Dilo's inward bass is very isolated. So you're gonna hear his inward bass and it's just gonna sound like a bass. And it sounds clean. You can almost detect each individual vibrations of Dilo's inward bass. Inertia, another heavy hitting one, a deeper tone, rich, very rich tone. Pratiban, similar to Dilo, you can hear individual vibrations of it, but it's also like inertias where it's gonna have a rich tone. That's an old Prince we have here. I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer. I'm 21. I'm too old to be learning memes. I have to take care of my kingdom. And Tomazakure. Again, heavy stuff. Really heavy. And he also has a different bass that I think everyone calls demon bass. I have no idea how to do it. I have no idea if it's inward. I have no idea if it's outward. But Tomazakure is a very good example of like a good bass. All right. So, I wasn't planning on doing this, but the basic Liproll beat that I like to do, this is just the bonus beat. So it's just that's literally two noises. Two noises. That's all you do. You can do whatever variation you want on there, but literally just two noises. And it's just gonna be okay. Let me add a new text. Let's see. We'll notate the Liproll as BRR. Actually, we're gonna do asterisk and then BRR to note that it's inwards. And PF. Oops, I should do more spaces. PF. Yes, the PF snare. The or you can do whatever snare you want. Asterisk BRR. Okay. Literally, this is the beat. I can't. Why am I still holding on? There we go. I wasn't eating. I was just selling some food. Yes, the very basic. A lot of people love this beat because it's a really basic beat that is actually in a lot of songs. So there are variations on it. So let's just inward Liproll. So you're gonna take the Liproll sensation, but you're gonna breathe in with your lungs. So it might be easier to learn a sub-bass Liproll first, because that's the way I learned it. And I was like, this is so much easier to learn breathing in first, because using the tongue technique to get that lighter Liproll sound, not a lot of people are familiar with that kind of tongue movement, but a lot of people are familiar with breathing in. So remember, Liproll technique, you drop your jaw without opening your lips. You drop your jaw, and you move your jaw to the right or the left, depending on which side you're comfortable with. And like I said, if you move your jaw to the right, your lips will be opening up on the left side. If you move your jaw to the left, your lips will be opening up on the right side. There are some people who can do it on both sides and who can also do it in the middle. So you want to find out what side you can do it on. In fact, I think there are some people who do it on both sides at the same time. They're anomalies. Anomalous lip rollers. But yes, the Liproll position, that's going to be the BRR. The asterisk means that it's going to be inward. So you're breathing in. You put your jaw, bring your jaw down without opening your lips, move it to whichever side, then very slightly open the opposite side of your lips and breathe in. So jaw down, jaw to the right, lips are closed. Now they're going to open slightly while I breathe in. Also, if you want that hard-hitting kick, on that Liproll, you want to burst it inside. So you can also do that with the normal Liproll, to make it sound like I forgot what the genre of music is called. It's not hardcore. No, but the if you make a hard hitting what's it called, Liproll, that's gonna sound like this. FL Loop Studio be like, I miss the old Kanye. We all miss the old Kanye. But again, this beat, very simple. You can actually insert whatever snare you want, because sometimes you hear a clap in that beat in like backing rap tracks, you know. So you can put a whatever snare you want, and you can also try to do the trap snare. And then, of course, there's always going to be variations on this. You can add in like extra kick hits. So that's just me adding in kick hit after the second inward lip roll. In fact, you might be able to do this outwards, but it's just that you won't be able to do it for long unless you find a way to breathe in. So you could do a raspberry, so, and just do the beat normally. It's not going to sound as clean because it's kind of hard to rapidly do that. You might be able to tighten your lip oscillations to be like, yep, just play around with it. Very simple beat, probably one of the easiest beats that could impress someone. And 2 sounds, that's all you need, 2 sounds. And then you just add in the basics if you want. So, and then variations, you make it whatever you want. Casually beatboxing at 4:31 a.m. Hey, that's the life. Beatboxers don't stop. Unless you're me. Like, I literally stopped beatboxing for a long time until last month. That's when I started to pick it back up again. Just because I'm like, I need something to really separate me apart from other VTubers. I had basic knowledge and stuff, and I could do most of what I can do now. But it's just that it wasn't refined and it wasn't more consistent, so to speak. Because my drill bass used to be extremely raspy and airy. It'd be like, so that doesn't sound full. Now I've refined it a bit to make it sound more, less, what's it called? Just more full. I don't like saying full a lot, but that's the only way I can describe it. So it's gonna sound stronger, and I could hit lower notes with it. But yes, beatboxers don't stop. They beatbox whenever. All right, beatboxing. I beatbox as well. Beatboxing. I'm boxing the beat. What should my outro be for these beatboxing streams? I have an idea. I've done this already, but tell me if you recognize it. That's gonna be my outro. That's gonna be my outro for these beatboxing streams. I'm really disappointed in anyone who recognizes it, and I'm also disappointed in myself for doing the beat. Beatboxing, beatboxing, meatboxing. Beating my meat to beatboxing. Actually, don't take that out of context. Miss Hub. Yes. Alright, that's gonna be it for the stream. Nice and easy. 1 hour 30-minute class. I don't think a lot of people have classes that long. Actually, no. Take off 10 minutes because I forgot about that 10-minute warm-up that I had earlier. Not warm-up, but just getting back into the flow of streaming and stuff. Anywho. 1 minute 20 or a 1 hour 20-minute class. Nice and simple. I think it was a bit longer than last beatboxing stream. Mighty Meat Beater. Anyway, on that note, also, I'm gonna have streams once a day. So I might do the Smash streams every other day, while also doing variety in between. It's just because I'm working on something else at the moment, due to certain news. I'm not gonna mention it, just in case. But yeah. I am gonna be busy working on some other stuff that won't be on the channel. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to release it to anyone, aside from people involved. But who knows? We'll see where things go. Goodbye, Takao. Make sure to eat healthy, rest well, play hard. Or eat hard, play hard, rest hard. Whichever one you prefer. Pay your taxes.